Hi guys, welcome to Card Design Thursday. Today I made a little card using some things I already had in my stash and some scraps because I'm done buying for the Christmas season, and so I used just whatever I had. So let me tell you what I used. First of all, I used white cardstock and some craft paper, and then I used some Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distressed ink and some black Memento ink. I used some decorative scissors. Um, and then I used these two dies. I used the tree background die from Gina Marie Dies. And then this is three. I used the one with the deer on them. And I used my Misty today. And then I used this stamp set by G's Embellishment Emporium. I used the Merry Christmas stamp. I used this deer head stamp and this little deer down here. And so I used those. And then I used my die pick, and I used a sparkly gel pen. And of course, you know, I always use my art glitter glue. So let me show you the card that I created. And this is the card that I made. And so I was going for a masculine card. I don't know, it just seems like I always do like more, you know, lean toward more the feminine cards. And so this is a card that you could definitely do for winter. You could change the background and do it for another, like birthday card or whatever. But I chose to do this for Christmas. Oh yeah, and I also used paper from this A2 paper pack that I got from G's Embellishment Emporium, the Victorian Christmas. I used some paper out of that as well, but I didn't have any more left to show you except for the card that we're going to put together. So basically, I used my gel pen. I don't have a background die for snow yet, so I used my gel pen, and I'm not sure if you can pick that up, to just create a snowy background here. And I made just like a little Merry Christmas here. And on the inside, I used a couple of mats, and then this is where the deer head went, and I popped it up on dots. And I really like that. So it's masculine. It has room to write on the sides or whatever, but I like this. I have a son-in-law who loves deer. I have friends that love deer, and so this is what I created. And I might do another one with a black background, but I'm not sure how that would show up. I would leave the deer white. Oh yeah, and I also colored in the deer with pencils, coloring pencils, just because when I cut this out, it cut it out in white, and so the deer were white and it blended into the background, so I went ahead and colored those. And then this, of course, is the stamped deer from the stamp set right here. And then I used my little scissors here, and I stamped Merry Christmas, which is that Merry Christmas. And I love the font that it's in. And so that's what I did to create that. So I just thought I would put one together with you right quick. I've already stamped the images and everything just to save time and die cut everything out. So here is everything that you'll need. My white cardstock. This is the die when it looks like cut out. And then the tree die. I love this die. It's very intricate and very lacy at the top with the limbs and stuff. So you do have to take your time to get some of the little pieces out, but it's well worth it. And then these are, I am going to trim this down. This is the paper that I used from the vintage paper line here. And then this is a sheet of paper that I used from the vintage paper line. And each one of these I was able to cut 2 cards from one sheet. So, but I really like this paper and I like stamping on it. So basically all I did was, I glued this down to here. And, oops, see, I still missed a couple of places. Poking out the little holes. I have a little brush, but I had packed that brush up to take with me somewhere for a card lesson I'm going to be doing this weekend with dies. And so, So basically, you're going to cut your, if you use an A2 size card, which means it's 5.5 by 4.25, so it's 5.5 weight this way and 4.25 this way, this die will fit perfectly on that. So it is a little hard to glue, but with the fine tip point that you can get from MayMayMadeIt.com with the art glitter glue, which also came from there, you can just put a nice little bead down. And if it does come through somewhat, it's okay because it dries clear and it won't affect the quality of the card. It is hard to stay on this little line though. So I am just trying to hit some little highlights here. Turn this over and run this down on this side. Okay. Now some of it did come through, but like I said, that's okay. It dries clear. And I'm just going to really just eyeball this to get it on here. And then press that down. Oops. I'm throwing my diaper wipe around now. Now, if you have some little pieces that are sticking up, like right here, I just take my glue where it's already been glued, and I had just a bead of glue on it, and I just touched it to the back and put it down. And so that dries nicely like that. Then the next thing I did was to take my little snow scene here and line it up to the edge of the card. Make sure it's where I want it. Okay. And it's got a little bit of glue left on it from the thing, but you do need to add more glue. So then we're going to glue it down. And I am just going to put just a tiny little touch of glue on the deer. Okay, then come back and line that up with the edge of the card. Now you might want to measure, like with your card and your trees, you want to get a good balance. You don't want this hill to be too big, because if it is, the deer head will come up to the top of the trees. So that's why I did that. Okay, and I have just a tiny bit hanging over here. I'm just going to trim that off right there. Okay. So there you have that. And then I cut, like I said, I stamped the Merry Christmas. And I used my Mini MISTI to stamp these and the deer head. The die was new, so I always try to prep my die. But I wanted to make sure I got a sharp, clear image. And I knew there was no way that I was going to stamp that by hand and try to restamp it. So I did use the Mini MISTI for the deer and the Merry Christmas. And so we're just going to lay that down there on the bottom there. Oh, first I forgot to stamp the deer. So I'm just going to take this out right quick. Reach inside, grab the little deer. And grab me a little block here. And I used Vintage Photo for him. I like to do everything in pairs. I mean in threes. I don't know why. I don't like even numbers. So, I'm just going to look and see where I want to put him. And I think I'm going to put him down here this time. Okay. And then just going to take some glue and glue my little Merry Christmas. And I just stamped this on the little pieces of scrap paper that I had left from cutting out stuff. And so that way I didn't waste anything. I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. It says Merry Christmas. So the longest thing that takes to do this card is basically just prepping, cutting all the dies and stuff out. But it's really not hard. Okay, so then we're going to, I wanted to show, you know, for some of this to show. So I cut my papers. This is 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. And this right here is 5 1/8 by 4 1/4, 4 1/8. No, 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. Sorry. So I'm going to lay that down first. And I'm just going to run some art glitter glue on here and glue it down. So a tip for if you're going to be doing a lot of cards with the same die, just cut them all out at one time, because you will save yourself a lot of time, and you can save a lot of paper that way, because you can actually use a lot of the scraps for some of your dies. Okay, and then we're just going to put this in the middle here. Eyeball that, make sure that's right. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut out my deer. And I did not want it to cut it out like, you know, with all the little horns and everything. I did leave paper on there because it's really hard. Those become very delicate like that. I'm using my big scissors today. I love my little fussy cutting scissors that I got from G's Embellishment Emporium. However, they're packed up too. And my hands are really hurting today, so I'm using big scissors because they're a little bit easier to put my hands in. My fingers are a little bit swollen today. So, alright. And I'm just going around the edge. I am not cutting all the paper off. So I'm leaving just the tiniest little border. I don't fussy cut, guys, very fast, so I apologize. I probably should have paused it, but oh well. So if you notice, I haven't really picked my scissors up, and I don't when I'm fussy cutting. I turn the paper, and it really is easier on your hands, and it gives it a little bit nicer edge to it as well. Okay, so that is cut out. So trim a little bit off of right here. Okay. And I love this paper, so I'm not throwing this big scrap away because I will figure something out to do with it. And then I am putting it right here. But I did pop these up on dots just to make it stand out a little bit. I love this deer stag. And I had planned on making a magnet out of it. A removable magnet. I was kind of borrowing from one of G's cards that he did. However, I didn't get any magnets. And I just was not running out to get any more magnets. I also use these 3D foam squares. These are, I get these from May May. They stick really nice. And I would probably use some of the smaller ones today, but like I said, having issues with the fingers today, so I'm using anything big that I don't have to do a lot of tiny work with my fingers. Okay. Because these are hard to come off sometimes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I started at the top because I don't want it to hit all the way at the top. There we go. Okay. And then what I did to get the little snowflake effect on the front was I used my gel pen, and it is the it's a Jelly Roll glitter pen. If I'm not mistaken, I probably got these from Maymay too, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to go ahead and get it started first. Okay. And then all I did was this right here. I just put little dots all over it for just the snow effect. And it really does look pretty good. I know it's hard to see from on the camera, but and then I just went around the edge of the die with a little bit here, and then I did the same thing here. And I did this last because I want to make sure it was dry before I turned it out. And then I just traced the outside edge of this. Okay, and then call it done. So that is my masculine Christmas card. And like I said, this can be made into a birthday card, use different background. I actually may try to make another one with the black background, see how that looks. But easy peasy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. And I will be on Facebook, and probably about, it's probably going to be about 5:45. If this uploads before then, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to upload. I'll tell you, our internet service has been pretty spotty lately, and I'm not sure why, but it just really has been. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good afternoon, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.